Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn Evony in Minutes. Today in episode 8, we're talking about one of the biggest early game decisions you'll have to make in Evony, and that is joining an alliance. And trust me, if you're playing Evony solo, you are making the game much harder than it needs to be. A good alliance will speed up your growth, give you free help, unlock rewards, protects you, and lets you join rallies you could never do alone. So in this video, I will show you exactly how to join an alliance, what to look for, and what to do as soon as you get accepted. Let's go over to the game now and just show you where the alliance is on here. So down at the bottom right hand side, it'll be different actually because you will be most likely on mobile, but it's this one here that we want to join, and then you can see all of the different options that we've got inside there with the alliance. Just also I want to show you as well that if you do go into rankings via the 3 dots, click into there, you can also see alliance power ranking, which will also become important because you can see on this one TBV, this is my main account, I am in the TBV alliance, 387.2 billion, and then there are a couple of smaller alliances below that sort of offer support for the server wars and things like that. But you normally end up with one main alliance, possibly 2, very rarely 3. And what you want to do is be in one of those top alliances from the very beginning. Okay, let's continue with this and let's talk about why joining an alliance does matter. So when you join an alliance, you will unlock some massive benefits. You get alliance help, which allows other players to reduce the timer on your buildings research. So that is also very important. And you also get alliance gifts and daily rewards. You will also get access to the alliance science, which gives useful buffs to help you grow faster. And you can also join in monster rallies for rewards, which is probably the main #1 benefit of joining an alliance. And most importantly, you're also no longer playing completely alone. In Evony, being in a good alliance can make your account grow much faster than trying to do everything by yourself. So let's talk about how to join an alliance next, and this is one of the first things you need to do. I've showed you that alliance icon. That is what you would need to tap on. Let's just go over to the game and have a look at that again. So if you weren't in an alliance, it would say something like join an alliance here. This usually looks like a shield and can be found near the bottom right of your screen. Once the alliance menu opens, you'll see options to join or apply, so this will look very different to what you see on the screen right now. And as I mentioned, don't just join the first random alliance you see, even if it recommends an alliance to you. It is definitely one of the biggest beginner mistakes we can make. Instead, take a minute or two to look for an active alliance, and at the beginning it will be a little bit all over the place. You may find that there are 5 or 6 decent alliances to choose from, but joining one that is active and is going to help you at the very beginning is important. And also another thing to be aware of as well, I would also potentially be having a look at the rankings again and going in there and actually having a look at the Monarch power ranking. The reason I say that is because if you see someone that's absolutely motoring ahead in terms of power, then ideally joining that person is going to be useful because they're going to be running very big monster rallies which you will not be able to kill. So as I mentioned, you can also check the alliance rankings as well to see who is the biggest, and then joining one of the strongest alliances on your server is critical. Now as a beginner, you probably won't get into the #1 alliance straight away, but that is completely fine. What we need to do is just look around for the top 5 alliances and check which ones are open to new players. If you are looking for an English speaking alliance, many will show a UK, US or other English speaking flag, and some will clearly say as well what language they are using. Once you find the alliance that looks active, then you click on apply, and this is where you'll get a message box, and all you need to do is write something simple like active new player looking to grow and help the alliance. This definitely sounds much better than sending a blank application, and if you do get rejected, you don't need to worry. Just got to apply for another one, continue building your own account in the meantime, and then eventually you will get into an active alliance very soon. Onto another thing that is going to help you join in an alliance, and that is changing your Monarch name. One, it's making you look active. A real name will show you're serious about the game. It's also going to make you easier to recognize. Leaders remember and trust real names a lot more than just the standard Monarch 1, 2, 3 that they give you at the beginning, and it will also help you get accepted into the alliance. So it's a great first impression which will lead to more acceptance for the alliances that you are going to apply for. Good alliances will always prefer players players with a real name, and it also shows maturity, respect, and commitment to the game and the team. So the next section will be what to do after you have joined, and once accepted, there are a few things that you can do straight away. First, let's just go back over to the game. First, you can tap help on any buildings, research, or troop training that you have running. So if you've got something yourself that needs running, you can do that to get those helps from the Alliance members. This lets your Alliance members reduce your timers, which will save a lot of speed ups over time, especially as you get deeper into the game. And the next thing I would probably do as well is just jump into the Alliance chat. This is our one over here. Sometimes they can be really active, other times they can be a little bit quiet. But what I would say is you don't need to write anything complicated. Just hi everyone, new player here, happy to help will be more than suffice. And this is showing you're active, and active players usually do get more support. Then check if your Alliance is running any monster rallies. So you can see over here with this little icon here, you can see there's a couple that are already running, and just use that as an example. That 694.9 million legendary Cerberus, I wouldn't be able to kill that, but I can join that with just one troop. Key part, one troop only needed to be sent. Click on March, and then that will go over to there, join that particular rally, and get the rewards from that big boss monster that someone else bigger in the Alliance is attacking. And it doesn't matter how small you are, you will be able to join these with that one troop. So that is the first thing that you need to check, and this is definitely one of the biggest reasons Alliances are so powerful early on. So let's just talk again about a few tips to choose the right Alliance. Not every Alliance will be worth staying in, and you'll notice that after a few hours in the Alliance. So a quick checklist for choosing a good one. You want an Alliance that has active chat. You want members who are regularly helping each other. You want rallies that are happening throughout the day. You also want leaders and officers who are actually communicating, and in an ideal world also sharing knowledge about how to play the game. Doesn't have to be the strongest Alliance in the game at the beginning, but it definitely needs to be active. You need to avoid dead Alliances with no chat, no rallies, no help. Now, just to make you aware, if you do join an Alliance and they don't seem like they're very active, if you were to leave that straight away, there is a cooldown before joining another Alliance. So that is something to be aware of. But if you were to get kicked, there is no cooldown. So if you are going to leave the Alliance because you want to find a different one, then it is always worth requesting from an R4 or an R5 to kick you out of the Alliance rather than having to go through that cooldown. And also, if you do join one and realize nobody is doing anything, this is the time to ask that question. Early on, there's no reason to stay with that Alliance. Get out there as quick as you possibly can, because your growth will depend massively on the people around you. And just a pointer, if you are small in a dead Alliance, no one's really doing anything, and you've got other people that are joining big, massive monster rallies, they are getting all of those rewards while you are potentially getting nothing, and it really does make a big difference. Evony is huge for Alliance monster rallies. It is one of the most important growth aspects on the game. And that is pretty much it. You now know why Alliances matter, how to join, what to do once you're accepted. And again, I'm just going to reiterate, it's one of the biggest turning points for new players in Evony. Once you are in an active Alliance, your buildings, research, rewards, rallies, and overall progress will definitely start moving much faster. If this video did help you, then please do consider supporting the channel by liking this video and potentially subscribing for more beginner-friendly Evony guides. As I mentioned, this is all part of the Learn Evony In Minutes series. This is episode 8, learning about joining an Alliance. The previous 7 are already on the channel now, and in episode 9 we will learn about truce bubbles and protection and why it's so important and actually pretty easy to do on Evony as well. And that is where I'm going to leave this particular episode 8. See you in episode 9 very soon. Thanks for watching.